must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.
Our television station gives people to explain their problems, their difficulties, their information. If they need more information, we shall refer them to where they should get it.
We embrace dialogue, dialogue, and dialogue.
We want to exchange views, go deeper, advise where possible. Tell the world what is going on. Why is it that tactics have changed from removing governments militarily to removing governments through regime change tactics?
The issues here sometimes are elections in Africa. We as Kenyans or we as Africans view it as elections, but the foreign powers are viewing it as an entry strategy to enter into our affairs and get control of our resources and on the way we actually rule ourselves.
At the end of the day, I think it's just the greed of power that is bringing all these problems, even the Western influence that you're talking about, because you cannot accept to be used by Western powers unless there is a reason, and the reason is that you want to get power through any means, even if it means bringing a country or a nation down to its needs.
It is very shameful today for an African country to go and beg money for elections in its own country. It is very shameful. And then tomorrow you ask for the same people. Why are they asking for the record of your elections? Look at that. Kenyans, unite. And institutions in the world that don't benefit Kenyans, why do you keep yourself in them? There are those who think that with ICC gone away, we shall lack justice in Africa. No. Has justice not been there in Africa before? It has. Some people want to silence people. We are not going to keep quiet. France, watch your steps in Africa. You are dividing people in the African Union. If countries don't tell you, I am an individual, I've told you. The president, Salva Kiir, is the president of the Republic of South Sudan.
So that should be
Dr.
respected.
Riek Machar, before he left,
was the vice
president.
So
therefore the two must now avoid these blue-suited men and talk for the sake of their country.
Correct, correct.
Yes.
The entire last week and the weeks before, corruption and the subject of corruption seem to have come back to haunt Kenya. It is indeed sad that today people emerge with millions and millions of shillings to give out goods, in form of goods, form of money itself. When the government has been saying there are people who have corruptly got this money. If you are given the permission, if you are given a job, an assignment as a government officer, why is it that you have, instead of serving, you have decided to steal? Why do you steal from the same people? Then recycle what you have stolen back to them in hand mills and parks. Why don't you allow this money to help the general population of the people of Kenya? Corruption, therefore, must be fought. If you are a lawyer, you are an advocate of the court. You therefore must follow court ethics. that that money that you get from your client is from the right channel, and your client has not corrupted you. If you come before the court of justice with your client having corrupted you, paid you money, then you must refund that money. Believe me or not, the lawyers who have taken this money, who paid themselves 40 million, 200 million, 20 million, Miriam must pay back money. That money must be paid. Corruption must be fought. Kenyans must stand up and fight the vice. And I encourage those who are supplying these materials at this hour that yes, Kenyans, wake up and get them and eat. It's your money. People should not say it is theirs. It's your money. This was the money that was hidden. Eat it. Thank you.
It is ridiculous and it is against the laws of nature that we can have somebody sitting pretty who takes home more money than the credible entrepreneur who is doing actual production of goods and services.
We always say it as it is.
It is only in this country that when a thief is arrested, you hear elders from their tribe saying, he is our son and he is our thief.
If you are deviant
Yes.
and I call you leader, probably you are already a leader, but you are leading in the wrong direction.
We want to see the role of the youth
Yeah.
in the security,
Yes.
governance,
Yes.
and development.
The youth that I meet and work with here, you know, we call them the millennials and X's and Y's, this and that. They don't necessarily want to live like their fathers and grandfathers,
Yes.
do business like their fathers and grandfathers. They're more independent, they're better educated, and they're the ones that are making everything move in this region.
We look at the issues, we talk about issues that impact people's lives in Africa.
The African peoples themselves continue to cheer bad leaders, and because they cheer them on, they continue to be misled.
Let me ask you, doctor, would you rather be somebody who does not enjoy so much freedom but you are rich?
Yes.
Or you'd rather be poor who you are actually imprisoned by the poverty itself?
My goal is not to come here and say, I want the majority ownership, I want to own this, I want to own that, I want to do this. My goal is we all make money and we're all happy, and I help build a big business here.
Punchline is for Africa, with Africa, from Africa.
Good morning, Africa. Good morning, wherever you are in the world. Thank you very much for watching Punchline Africa Television, broadcasting all the way from the Republic of Kenya, Nairobi, in the command center, political command center of Punchline Africa Television is Dr. David Matang. Right in the headquarters of Punchline Africa Television, miles away from me, is Miriam Ogot. We expect some other two people to join us, but because of the fluctuation in power, the supply, they are not here. They haven't arrived yet, but they will join us. This morning, the show is the People's Courts. In the People's Courts, we want to look at how corruption in Kenya is being fought. Remember 2 weeks ago, one of the high-profile cases was handed down, brought down to a conclusion. We shall also this morning look at the COVID-19. We are getting confused. It's a terrible confusion. I believe every Kenyan waking up would know. We don't know. They said 2.6 million people are infected, but where are they? How did we reach here? Maybe Miriam has found out something which I don't have. But I am totally this morning confused with Kemri saying 2.6 million people of Kenyans have been infected. But where are they? So why don't we, if that is the case, then the disease is going to be a pure disease, which is purely endemic. If that is the case, the disease is terrible. It is within us. It worries us so much, Miriam. And therefore, we shall look at that also briefly. And then we jump on the headlines again briefly. The making of the cabinet, we shall talk about it. The main topic today in the People's Court is corruption. Miriam will read the headline in the studios. I will make brief remarks regarding Waruke's case, stating where we are. And Miriam brings in why Waruke thinks the case should not have taken place. His sentence should not have taken 67 years. Miriam will give us the reasons. Thank you very much. Let's open. Miriam, let's go on COVID-19.
Right, and we start with, of course, Kenya right now. The figures as we speak right now stands at 6,941 cases. The death toll in the country is at 152, and recoveries right now stands at 2,109. And we also see, Doctor, in Uganda, the figures also continue to go up. The cases is at 907, but also recoveries also go up there at 847 cases. And I don't want to get so much into the details of the rest of everything else, perhaps just the the total figures in Africa this morning, because we have a lot to talk about, and that topic on corruption, I'm sure our viewers are waiting to hear what we have today. So the total cases in Africa right now stands at 432,778 cases. The number of deaths in Africa is at 10,647. Recoveries in the continent stands at 207,647, and of course the global cases right now are nearing 11 million, with over 10.9 million cases there. So in a nutshell, Doctor, that is where we are today. And when you look at what you just mentioned there earlier, it is in all the front pages of the leading newspapers in the country this morning. And from the Star newspaper, 2.6 million Kenyans have COVID-19, says Kemri. And up there it says shocking. Of course, I am shocked when I read this, headline in the morning. 1 in 5 people in Nairobi already infected and recovered. Immunity not assured. So they're saying also studies show that those with blood group A are more vulnerable and group O more protected. So they're saying a lot of us, 1 in every 5 people in Nairobi, there's a possibility we have contracted COVID-19, but we've gone ahead and healed without even us knowing. There could be some truth to this, I don't know, but this is as the findings from the scientists in this country.
My blood is O. Yeah. Miriam, I've summarized. Mine is O. I don't know yours.
Mine is B+. I know mine. Yeah.
Yeah. They haven't talked about B+, yes. So we can take a solace that it is well covered under O. Yeah. Isn't it? And they should have specified A, B, C, D, O. Anyway, mine is O+.
Yes.
O. Blood 0 O.
A, B, and O, yes.
That's it. Maybe that's why I'm still, I don't know. But the basis of this discourages people. It should not have come out at a time when we see more figures going up to 300. Then you bring in this. What is the meaning of Kemri? Is somebody undermining the government policy? Now people will think, since I have O+, I'm protected. I'll sit at home. I can go and eat nyama I can drive up to Malaba and I come back. No, this should have been kept back. To me, this is not very good. This should be an announcement that the president or the minister could bring when he sees some good results. So far, we don't know where the 2.6 million are. They haven't told us where they are. I saw a letter this morning saying Machakos, Mlolongo, and Kajiado. They have asked for mass testing. The reproduction rate around there seem to have left town and landed there. Because people have run back to those areas every evening. They work, they come, they collect it from the town, then go and deliver it there. So this is a situation. Okay, my blood sample is all. So God help us. Those with age should not get worried, but stay firm, wash your hands, protect yourself, keep a distance, wear a mask. Full stop. Next.
All right. So just before we leave that story, it says Kemri estimates that about 550,000 people in Nairobi and roughly about 100,000 in Mombasa have already contracted and recovered from the COVID-19, probably gaining some immunity. Now, some could have been infected as early as March because the antibodies can linger in the blood for several months, and the numbers suggest that Kenyans should be seeing significant severe disease cases and deaths, but this has not yet happened, and at least 6,000 people should have also died from the disease countrywide based on the current accrued death rate. And they're saying, the researchers said they tested about 2,535 blood samples, and it is possible they overestimated the number of people who have been exposed to COVID-19. So there it is. And so they're saying they're carrying out the antibody test, but that has to be agreed by Ministry of Health. So far, apparently, 1 in every 5 Kenyans, or Nairobians for that matter, have probably contracted COVID-19, but they've healed even without them knowing.
Okay, that's very interesting. Very interesting. But keep your hands safe. Keep yourself safe. Wear a mask. Don't relent because your blood sample is O or grade. What is it called?
There's group. There's A group, there's B, there's O.
So, even if it is O, you are more protected. Eat more good food, more vitamins. Hama more vitamins. Fruits, michungwa. Itakimbia kama inasikia O group. But don't spread it. More protected. You are more protected. The word is more protected. But you could have some side effects, some diseases that are already within your blood systems. Thank you.
All right. And of course, they've said that, yes.
Let's go.
Okay.
Daily Nation.
The Daily Nation, they are remaking of the cabinet there. Also, it has that COVID-19 story there, but we've already looked at that. And so on the front pages of the Daily Nation, remaking of the cabinet, realignment, echoes of Mwai Kibaki's government of national unity as President Kenyatta invites Raila Odinga, Kalonzo Musyoka, Gideon Moi and Musalia Mudavadi to propose names of cabinet nominees in what is described as an effort to slay the dragon of exclusion that destabilizes the country after every election. All top seats in the expanded executive will be distributed throughout the country. Doctor, will this help solve the problem of disunity in this country, bringing everybody on board?
Yes.
Or do we need a deeper level of solving this problem? Because this is just...
Bringing who on board?
Like bringing everybody on board and giving them these cabinet nominations. Every leader here, I see, according to this story, will propose names here.
Yes.
Is that the ultimate solution of exclusivity and politics of division in this country?
No, but it's a solution for 2 years left.
For 2 years left.
Yes. I have told you already, and I don't need to repeat much. And let me repeat much, maybe. Let those here, let President Uhuru Kenyatta hear me. I am just Paul preaching in Judea. You need people in the cabinet who like you, who will work with you, whom you will be. Look at the man of Nairobi Metropolitan Service. That man likes you. Don't bring busy bodies in the cabinet. Busy bodies. Where is he? If we don't call out corruption, Miriam, who will call out corruption? You Kenyans fear to call it out. You say you'll be ashamed to be called. That man was talking about corruption. Me, I am Paul in Judea. Paul in Judea. Nickname me the name. I will say it, go home. If you don't want, hate me. President Uhuru Kenyatta, now is the time for you to have people. I have studied this subject to the last iota. The last iota. Where the library had the books. Yeah. Not where you go and borrow a book from a friend. Muse, this is the last minute. Either you do it or we all cry. We have 700 and something days. Miriam, the legacy. I defended the legacy. I, individually, I am not being contracted to defend. I defend. Because I like President Uhuru Kenyatta. As a friend, I did not buy the friendship. Neither did he give me the money to become a friend. 746 days. Time is ticking.
Yes.
We have no time, Miriam. If you choose a wrong person in this cabinet, who is going to plunder again? Who is not going to help you with what you want to achieve? We are dead.
And is that the reason why we've seen lately President Uhuru Kenyatta has been very hands-on, and of course there has been some criticism on the person of Deputy President William Ruto, who we saw in the initial stages during the first time and also earlier. Hold on, let me just, yes. So when he was given the responsibility to perhaps go and inaugurate some of these government projects, he used that time to just make his own political, leeways and just for his own personal use. So now we see President Uhuru Kenyatta lately has been very hands-on. He goes by himself to inspect some of these projects, like say in Nairobi and other areas. So really, President Uhuru Kenyatta means business, as we can see, but also did he learn from, what the disconnect that was there with his deputy president while he was sending him to inspect some of these things on behalf of the government. Instead, he was gone there in what seems to be like his own personal political ambitions to achieve that. So President Uhuru Kenyatta seems to have learned there. So he's doing that by himself. What would you say to that?
And that's exactly what I'm saying. 746 days you are left. The other guy was doing business, Magendo. Now he's giving out goods. I have encouraged the Kenyans to eat them, get the money, because this money was your money. Don't hesitate. Let him go on giving sewing machines. What? This was your money. This guy does projects. There is no managing director who is in police cell, who has lost a job, who has no complaint against certain people. I'm telling you, one day this report is going to come out. Kila mtu analia huyu mjamaa. I lost my job. I lost my job. The power came from Sky Team. Helicopters were moving to collect money. Now here, eat the money. Eat the money, weka kura yako chini ID, saa itakuja. Watu wazuri watakuja. Wapatie kura. Don't worry, don't even stop anybody from giving this loot. This looted money. If it's coming back to the people, I'm happy. Page 5 of the, is it page 5 of one of, very good. Page 5, root of forms of War Council for 2022. Kura pesa. Kura utapatia mtu mwingine. Because people have decided to go and discuss Rome. Rome. You are talking of Rome when Sicily is burning. Fine. Ipesa hata zikuje. However much you move now, it could be too late, too early for this. Now it proves a point. Doesn't it prove a point to you that what the government was saying was correct? Uhuru Kenyatta's projects in Nairobi, the lawyers who are defending the Sonko come from who? They sit in those boardrooms with who? Who is Murkomen? Supports who? Who goes to support Sonko? If Sonko was doing what Major General Badi is doing, the city would be shining. But instead, he grabbed money. He kept on showing us the rings. Ring. Corruption. So if this man is bringing things which has been buying, stocking from money stolen from government, that's it, eat it. You people take it. Leopard never changes spots. Bye-bye.
All right, very well there.
Leopard, that is an African, no leopard changes. Have you ever seen a leopard change spots?
Yes, that is an African proverb there. Leopards don't change their spots, Doctor.
The guy planned himself. He doesn't want to listen to the president. He has left Uhuru Kenyatta in chaos. Why do you consult him? Why do you even bother with him anymore? Let him hold the post of the deputy president, ceremonial, that's it. Weka watu wengine watampishana. Wakenya, they know how to do politics. They know whom they elect. Well, wacha nikwambie, Mudavadi showed us here with Kioni that they are doing very well. They call themselves self pair of hands. Woo! Did me laugh an African way? When you hear an African laughing like that, it means the thing has hit him in the heart. Mudavadi called himself a self pair of hands. He got very embarrassing votes.
Kenyans do not trust the safe hands.
Even the Jupiter did not vote. So you think you can, the only way Mudavadi can secure his name and the name of his father is to join this group of Uhuru and Raila. Haki ya Mungu. The rest, Mudavadi cannot even bring a rally of 100,000 people in the city stadium. Or city, where is this, what, called what? Uhuru Park. So do you mean and what will he do to me? Me, I tell the truth. I'm not insulting him, but I'm analyzing what he has been going through. When you see him come to the television, the people, the citizen, what citizen? You don't even give citizen 1 kilo of sugar. Unakula peke yako, unasema citizen. Wacha. Let's move on. Cabinet, 746 days left. Mzee, Your Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta, Fanya kazi. Swamp. Drain the swamp.
Yes.
You don't need a big cabinet to please people. You have pleased the people for the last 8 years. Some of them have done havoc. Some of them are turning to get the good sewing machines that are being brought by those Chinese at night with dollars heaped in their houses. A dollar never changes the skin. They are just changing it, Mzee. Very serious intelligence coming out. They are changing the dollar slowly. Nearby countries. Everything you do in this region, as long as this man is alive, I will know. Hakuna kitu, hata mimi nilianza hii kazi ya guerrilla activities long time ago. Sasa wewe utajua nini? Wewe unajua more than I do. No way. Anything you do here in the region here, kutoka Burundi paka huko Khartoum, itajua. I knew Bashir in 1994. Where were you? I knew Nyerere in 1978. Where were you? So I know Lieutenant General Muzuguri, the Black Mamba. Where were you? With one telephone call, with the network. Mzee, mambo Tanzania VP. Watu wanakufa kama tunasikia wanakufa wengi. The man says there are no people dying here. There's nobody dying in Tanzania. Medium, surprisingly. I'm telling you.
It's
so maybe God has maybe God has selection.
No, because the Ministry of Education, the schools are set to open this month. All other schools, because initially it was the students who were supposed to be sitting for their end of exams, but the schools are opening, and the Ministry of Education came out and advised the teachers and the students to wear masks when they go to school and to observe social distancing. So this mixed signaling from Tanzania is just too
not mixed. Now it's not mixed. Comedian, can I tell you?
Because they say wear masks, at the same time we don't have corona. So which is which?
A few weeks ago, I can swing the hands you are swinging. Which is which? Now I cannot. Can I tell you, my dear sister? I can't. Because I got the top, the sincere. This is a man I've known from 1978. He's still there. Lieutenant General Muzuguri, Black Mamba, is dark. He's a great friend of mine. He's the one who liberated us from Idi Amin. His sons told me, David, ndugu yangu, hapa watu wanaendelea like the same day. They do their things every day. Tuna shida hapa. Wana shida. The hospitals in Dar es Salaam are not full of patients. There are no patients in Dar es Salaam. There are no patients in hospitals. Those who are there, the diseases. So, are you sure? He said, ndugu, ndio nakwambia. Get this, open up. When this thing is over, Kenya opens up, fly here. Nasema itabeba my PPs mingi. Anasema hakuna kuja. Hotel huko Dar es Salaam, zinafanya. Hayat, everybody is there. Tourists are there. Wazungu wanakuja do. Ndege zinakuja halaya. Do you know that people are living here and are getting their planes to go back to Europe through Tanzania? Yes. With their certificates. That's how they are going. So there's something which is not, as you say. Yesterday I got it. I said I will not wave this other hand. I will just keep. Mzee waliniambia hakuna shida hapa. Maybe this thing is inside, just waiting to strike. We don't know. Maybe If you look at Uganda record, my sister Miriam, not even a single person has died. There may be. Then when you go to South Africa, unapata almost the number of South Africans consuming is high. It's going to hundreds of thousands. Is it in the thousands? Those who have died so far.
And now Gauteng is the hotspot as we speak right now, is the one that is
then across
registering high numbers.
Across Limpopo, north of Limpopo. North of Limpopo is Zimbabwe. Umeona, despite all the difficulties they have, you have seen their figure. Only 4 people died. Up to now. And very few cases. So, there is something. Now, when scientists come and say 2.7 million, then you even get more confused. So, let's leave it to there. Let's move on. 746 days left. Cabinet. Equal the cabinet that loves the president. Less than that, it should leave even the same guys to remain where they are. Because if you are bringing people who are going to confuse you in 746 days.
But also, Doctor, I think love is a bit different here, because I think what President Uhuru Kenyatta needs are people who share the same dream and vision that he has. Because initially in the past, and Dr. Me and you, we have criticized that cabinet he used to have there. Half of the cabinet CSAs were not even supporting the dream, the vision, whatever he wanted to do. And so we wondered, how will he be able to achieve his agenda, especially his big 4 agendas? Because these ministries are the ones who are tasked with the responsibility of implementing a lot of these things. They're done through the ministries. So if they're not even speaking the same language, if they're not seeing and agreeing with the vision of President Uhuru Kenyatta, we used to wonder, how will this even be possible? So I think, as we have seen President Uhuru Kenyatta come out and being very hands-on in his latest moves, you see he goes personally to inspect some of these things that are very close and dear to him in terms of the legacy that he will leave for Kenya. Also, it is important that he gets, as you have said there, a cabinet that shares his dreams, that shares his visions, that understand what he wants to do for the people of Kenya, because it is very important, as they are very critical when it comes to the implementation of some of these things that President Uhuru Kenyatta wants to be done. So outside of love, we need people who shares the same dream and vision that he has, so that they can work together and there will be no friction. They can love him but not share the dream. So love and sharing the same aspirations, that will be important.
But that's what I've said exactly. You have hit the point that emphasize. He needs people who have the same vision, who can, a smaller cabinet, who is not going to be a thief. Maybe I said it in a different way. The thief. Yes. You don't need a thief in this new cabinet. You don't need it. The other one has global money and is gone. And is giving it out in donations from the product, from the sweat of the silence of President Uhuru Kenyatta. Some of us who are friends of Uhuru Kenyatta, we feel very bitter. Look, when you display that the sewing machines, where have they been? So you can see it now, but it is not yet too late. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go to the real topic. It's not yet too late.
All right.
It's not yet too late, Miriam. Let's disorganize the corruption fight. Why are they panicking? Look at the lawyers who are scheming to make an appeal. Where do they get instructions from? That's what we want to look at. Thank you. It is sad. You have a point. If he doesn't have people with vision, then it is useless. If you are going to bring people like a Wario, because you want to balance Moyale, talk about Wario, isn't it today? The D there? I wish Elizabeth Juma gave us another shocker tonight.
She might. She means business when it comes to war against corruption there, because also she understands that, you know, the judiciary has been blamed for a long time being the weak link in the fight against corruption, and corruption has really deprived this country a lot of things. So she understands the magnitude and the importance of her position in this whole thing there in the judiciary. So Wario, there's a case to answer. Chief Magistrate Elizabeth Juma confirmed that sometimes back last year. So it's less. Yeah, I think we're expecting a similar.
Today is the sentencing, isn't it? Mm-hmm. If I'm not mistaken, it was supposed to be today. Gonga yeye miaka. I'm not influencing. I'm just a shouter on top. Gonga miaka. Uyo mjamaa alibeba wabibi, alibeba nini? Alibeba tickets, alibeba pesa, alichukua watu who are not supposed to be in Brazil. Aliwacha, that thing pains me. Let's give it. We will waste a lot of our time. Mm-hmm. The boy paid for his ticket and he won the gold medal. And now after he comes with the gold medal, Kenya wants to tax it. Unaona hiyo mambo? Such people should be exempted. He's a gallant son who paid his money to go and win a ticket, a gold medal for Kenya. We should do things that encourage people. Wario had stolen vests, stolen zip, even shoes for running were left in the wardrobes in Kenya. And I guess whose friend he was. That's the picture shows you. Woohoo! Funga Leo. Give another 100 years. In fact, Elizabeth Juma, you are Madam Heroine. Gonga miaka 10. Yeah, you have no words of what I.
Yes, and I'm sure where he is today, he's a very worried man, judging from that sentence there that was betted on Waluke and also Madam Bakungu there. I'm sure he's a very worried man. But Doctor, in a ton of events in line with the topic we have today, now the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution says an appeal by Sirisia Member of Parliament John Waluke against a multi-billion shilling fine or 67 years in jail in default will not be successful. Senior Assistant DPP Alexander Muteti said he is confident that the defense will not succeed in overturning the sentence by trial Magistrate Elizabeth Juma of the Anti-Corruption Court, because, Doctor, we know that through his lawyer Danstan Omari, he said that he's going to appeal this judgment on Waluke there, and the DPP is coming out and saying, no, we did our job, we did our investigations, we have a watertight case here, so there's no way the appeal court there will overturn the ruling that was given there by Chief Magistrate Elizabeth Juma. Should Waluke continue being confident because he was daring the DPP to bring it on?
Thank you very much, Miriam. First, the scenario. 2 weeks ago, Waluke sentenced to 69 years. The magistrate found him guilty. Right? Mm-hmm. In the ruling, the magistrate said, for the first time, relied on section of law that states that the conduct that constituted the offense resulted in both benefit and the loss. Those are keywords we mark here. The judgment was an important reminder that the war on graft was firmly on course by President Uhuru Kenyatta. His Excellency, the President, is fighting the war. It is on course. 3 and 5, The case exposes the advocates of evil. Evil advocates. Ahmed Nasir, you no longer brag, you will not brag on Twitter. We now know how you get your money. Harvey, we know how you get your money. So even if you drive those big cars, you tell us you have got a gate of 2 million, you can only go to one group of Ruto, which welcomes such people. Because everybody who's stealing here runs to His Excellency, the Deputy President. Am I wrong? No. Everybody. The MP for Karatina, for Mavira, is there. Moses Kuria, you have seen the thing from up. Have you seen the clip from Moses Kuria, Miriam? I wish they played it. But because he's my friend, I'm gonna look down like this. Whoa, whoa.
You can look down and still give us the facts there, Doctor.
Yeah, the facts, the facts, watch and the gonge clip ikuja hapo. Let me send it. For me, you tell me like that now, you tell me. Let me hammer it to you to Steve. Wake up. And how can you have the whole family thieving? From your nephews, your niece, you collect them to thief. Mumuibe, waizi. Who can marry such people? Unatembea na bibi mzuri kwa town, watu wanasema you know that woman is a thief. Haya. The clip on Moses Kuria, I don't know. The investigative chap can send it to Stephen. You have it, you have seen it.
Yes.
Yeah, send it to Stephen, not to me. My hands, I wash. Because Kuria, I paid him, not knowing that he does these things. I can give you the reason why I'm not going to be party to it. I was bailing him. I've lost 143,000 Kenya shillings. He has never paid me on M-Pesa when people rejected him in prison. Kumbe anafanya hii bank. It's not very good. So let's go on with our story. At the moment, this war has been kept and it is a success of President Uhuru Kenyatta. Why do I say so? We want to demonstrate that there is serious progress. And let people in Kenya never forget there is this 746 days wallahi. Watu wataenda jerani. People are going to go in jail. I don't know whether I'm speaking good Swahili media. Don't laugh at me because I know very little. Wallahi wataenda. People are going to jail. This Uhuru is not joking. That is one point you must know. 2, he has demonstrated and it has shown there is capability to investigate and the powers to get things working. That's why he cleaned the swamp in the parliament to pass the law that you don't steal money on Friday, then go and enjoy in the sessions on Tuesday with your wife or your concubine or girlfriend or both of you, because men these days, some of them are the same. They could fly with man, girlfriend. Don't forget, we're in a very difficult life. I know it as a Christian. You know my stand, Miriam, and your stand is the same. So we have no regrets about this. This is the society we are living in. A man could invite another man to go for a showdown. Wherever they are going, I don't know, for holiday. So I am speaking the truth. So this money can be eaten in both ways. In the Mombasa, it is happening. In Kampala, it's happening. Nairobi, it happens. London, it happens. It's normal. The world has changed. New York, on the CNN, it happens. It is okay. It has become okay. So I was only making reference, concubine, girlfriend, and a man to man of the girlfriend. I don't know whether English language has not brought a description yet. In dictionary, we don't know.
It's called same-sex relationships.
Oh, it is called partner. My partner. Which is normal. Some of us are used to these things. I live in a society where we don't discriminate. We don't talk about those things. You are in a train in the morning, you see another man kissing another guy. It's normal. So we proceed. We go and work and come back home. There's nothing wrong. I told you that inequality, minority was removed. The word minority community, things were removed, Miriam. There's no longer minority because people used to discriminate us on that basis, my dear sister. Now we are okay. So let's move on. This is to demonstrate how President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta has fought corruption. What will happen to Waruki? Because you asked, he's appealing. I asked the magistrate to hammer him both. Hammer him both. While he's in prison, he serves, he pays the other money. Because the trial judge did not err. He proved the case. Mr. Harvey told us that the rope Kosige, the MD, lied. I want us to ask today, Harvey, with that hair style, I don't know where it came from. Hairstyle. Have you seen how Harvey talks? Talks like what? What type he talks? Hey, you know, he has gone to appeal. He says the courts were fraudulent. You know, Miriam, at times Idi Amin was correct. So let's leave it there.
All right.
That's how painful. No, that's how painful I feel for Kenyans. You can't steal money, direct money like that, and then go around showing us your car. Some countries you go to firing squad. You don't blame human rights, blame yourself. Have the human rights told you to go and steal? Blame yourself for stealing, not human rights. That's the law of China. I'm teaching you something today. The Chinese doctrine is blame yourself, not they. They have put there a law that if you steal $2 million, you will get 20 bullets, copper, through a firing squad. And they have created the place to fire from. So when you pass nearby that firing squad in Beijing, where they kill these criminals, you also think whether to pick this money or not. It has become a deterrent. Medium. So Elizabeth Juma became a deterrent. Elizabeth Juma saved Kenya. Elizabeth Juma brought Uhuru's star up. President Uhuru Kenyatta, DPP, DCI, EACC, his new men, the soldiers, they were askari wenyewe, like a body, Tuendelee. Forget about civilian who's stealing and giving money out. Less is for us, let's march on.
So would you say, Doctor, with this new ruling, of course, as we wait that appeal, that the judiciary finally is catching up and is trying to be part of the war against corruption as opposed to the past?
Who?
Judiciary.
Yeah, because someone in the judiciary has realized that Maraga has no more powers. You better know that there is an element of good apples in the judiciary that have realized that they have to reclaim the name of the judiciary. And one of the elements is Elizabeth Juma. Yeah. You see, hakuna kucheza. It's a very clear narrative. Let's go on that route. The route towards Jerusalem. And this route is very interesting. What is left for President Uhuru Kenyatta is to ask for a donkey. And after formation of a new cabinet, ask for a donkey. President, ask for a donkey. Enter with a whip. There is a house in Jerusalem that trades in bad things.
Daniel, would you say judiciary, yes, would you say judiciary has finally redeemed itself in this regard?
Yes.
I think the magistrate, Elizabeth Juma, is just a manifestation that perhaps all is not lost in the judiciary. And besides Maraga having other corrupt individuals in the judiciary, we do still have judicial officers and judges, magistrates, who are up to the task and who have the goodwill to fight for what is best for this country. So I believe when finally the judiciary will be cleaned up and we remain with like-minded people like Madam Juma, then President Uhuru Kenyatta and the government will be able to step up the fight against corruption effectively. So I think from that ruling, the judiciary has done well and has raised our confidence in it. And indeed, we believe that the future ahead is quite bright.
Mm-hmm. And yesterday, I think I saw the lawyer for Waluke there coming out and saying, you know what, all this money, the 297 million Kenya shillings that was lost, it's not only Waluke and Wakungu who benefited from this money. There are other people who benefited from this money. So he was arguing that perhaps the rest also should be held culpable. Doctor, is this even possible?
Yes, that is, you are hitting the point I was coming. You have brought it near on the table. Let's eat it. The first person to return the money should be Ahmed Nasir.
40 million Kenya shillings, yes.
If you are sensible enough before we arrive on your door, because very soon we are arriving. That big door you call will be knocked down. You know, siku za waizi 40 zinafika. You cannot be stealing from the ocean, in Indian Ocean. Then you steal and disguise, people keep quiet. Now it has found you. Return the 40 million. Waluke's judge opens a new angle.
The lawyer.
For the DPP and the DCI to go and ask these people for the money. Let it come back first. Then you can ask Waluke or whoever gave you the instructions to pay you. But this money from proceeds, we have traced it where it is. Why should the government leave it? Mr. Soita and the company, you took money of fraudulent action, return it. Madam Baraza Nancy, and whatever firm you are working with, return the 5 million. 112,000, whether Juma Jacob is not around, His estate is there. Return it. Did he go with the houses he bought out of the money? Hey, I can see all of you quiet now. I've reached the real point.
Doctor, I'm in full support of that. Every person who shares the plunder
Miriam,
should.
Jacob Juma did not go to the grave with the house.
No, he left. His estate, I think, should be probed.
So whoever is the administrator, achunge, because the auctioneer could arrive when the state goes to look for this money. But Waluke could not have given out all his money without knowing who was going to take the 112. So Waluke, I'm now a lawyer if I was in court, to save himself, Miriam, let Waluke do a honorable thing. Name others. Usikufe peke yake. Maybe the appeal chamber could look at that mitigating statement and say, DPP, go and add others. Yes, variation of the order is indeed what we are seeking. Have you heard me, you people? I'm teaching law here. Variation of the order varies. The appeal judge could vary the order and say, I can agree, Mr. Waluke. You are right on here. You took 40 or 50 million. Okay, where is the other person who took the other money? The order could be varied. And there you cannot blame Juma. Juma has given the sentence, and the High Court judge could vary the order. In varying the order, the High Court judge could order all living animals living in Karen, in plush cars, what Baraza arrested them. He can order to be included in the charge. That's what in law they call variation of the order. So if they include these other guys, they also bring the general manager, Tirop Kosige. Didn't he, before he signed the check, didn't he know that there was no maize? At what point did he know that there was no maize? And when he knew what happened, and after that, did he report anywhere? What is the police CRB number? You are a general manager of a company. You are signing a check of 300 million, which the bank has to request from CBK, because no bank has got such money at a go in Nairobi. No.
Yes, because of the banking laws that protect money laundering and all that.
Either that time or today, the same laws. No bank in Nairobi could hold 300 million in their safe. They must request the money through Njoroge.
The CBK, yes.
So you, the general manager, Tirop Kosige, at what point did you know there was a problem? Why did Mr. Harvey call you a liar? Arrest Harvey also. Have you seen the variation orders that might come out of this appeal by next week?
So what you're saying is this appeal actually could hold some water. Yes, go ahead.
Nelson Harvey, as the president of LSK, has come out clearly and said to Kenyans what interest does he have in that case. and of course tell us why does he feel that the ruling was fraudulent. He should not just sit at the comfort of his office and cast aspersions. This is a very serious case. Kenyans were defrauded when they needed a lot of help, when a vast part of the country was facing drought. So the president of the Law Society of Kenya, he should not just throw statements from his office without due diligence of telling Kenyans what interest does he have in the case, and what evidence does he have that the judge did not have in that he's terming it the ruling as fraudulent. So he has to prove his case and also state clear the position that he holds and or the interest that he has in the case. And equally also for Waluke's lawyer, he has to do the burden of proof and really be able to link the likes of Ahmed Nasir to the case and Nancy Baraza, so that these people are all brought to book. No stone should be left unturned, Dr. Matsanga. So I believe in due course, even as they go to the appellate chamber, let all those be considered so that all these culprits are charged for the money that they enjoyed from the proceeds of the
I think in regards to that, Daniel, because that is the monies and how it was paid and how it was distributed is a matter of public knowledge. So I don't think the lawyer has such a huge burden of proof, because the proof is there that these people received this money. Even Ahmed Nasir himself came out and said, "Hey, I worked for this money and I was paid, so I was just doing my job." So maybe because they did not know that money they were being paid in a way that it was not legal. Assuming they did not know, but still, then they should return that money.
Yes. Now, Miriam, there.
Now that they know that it was illegally paid out.
You are now right.
Yes.
And our role here is to check that same journey. Now that we know, now that it has been proved,
yes.
Now that you took the money, now you bought a 2 million gate, now you got a bulletproof Range Rover, now you tell us you take your children to Barcelona, now you take your children to Morocco. Wewe rudisha pesa. To be a good lawyer of the court, to be called senior counsel, rudisha pesa. Pick from that little money, surrender it, 40 million. It will be a very good thing for this country. In fact, if Nasir returned the money, he could be appointed a minister of ethics, like Dr. Lotodo of Uganda.
I don't feel Nasir, even with returning 40 million, could be appointed a minister. His fingers are already dirty with other dirty deals. We know whatever he does.
No, we're stronger than the medium. If he does a redemption, you forgive him.
Because, Doctor, I think jailing these people is not enough. We should insist also on recovery, I think, on these assets. Because what is the point? Somebody will go serve term, and then they'll come out and still enjoy the house, still enjoy the money. Yes.
Yes, and Miriam, even if the likes of Ahmed Nasir are returning the money, let them not return the equal amount that they were paid. They have also to do double or triple the amount that they were paid, because these were proceeds of corruption, and that is how we should set the precedence, so that even as a lawyer, before you get yourself into certain matters, you have to do the due diligence and be aware of the credibility of this particular case. So let them also face those punitive measures.
In the Commonwealth law, being an accessory to crime is like being the real crime man you being looked for. These lawyers were an accessory to crime, plunder.
Economic.
The EACC should now, don't waste time, move in to the property recovery agency.
The assets, yes, recovery agency.
And what is it called?
The assets recovery agency.
Asset recovery agency. Seize properties of Harvey. He has a BMW that he brags around, telling people that it has got a bulletproof. Seize it, all of them. let them be under the collection of the government. Not that they are going to be taken. When they case, they have no case. The property is sold.
So
at the moment, people are changing the property names. I don't think if you go to look for Waluke house, you will find it. It will be in somebody's names. Because the Justice Magistrate Juma Elizabeth delayed to give us that notice to seize. You saw her rejecting the notice to seize. We better run quickly to seize. That's what we are saying. Another thing that comes out of this corruption medium, because I have a few minutes, about 20 minutes to go, then I can leave you to hammer the rest, is the media should come out to analyze, talk about the corruption the way we are talking about it.
Yes.
The people of Kenya should openly discuss. Don't be intimidated. We have seen people have intimidated us. You have seen intimidation. When somebody's name is mentioned, even those police officers fear. They fear. You see, they fear even to go to the office. As we speak now, we've lost one younger man. Nobody thinks about him. Sergeant Kene. He's left a family in Baringo. The tears should drop for such people. He's gone. He was on duty. He was on duty. He was on duty. He was on duty. He's left his children. Nobody knows why he should have been killed. Why? We fear people. Is there anybody remembering? It's only his mother, the wife, the father, who might be thinking. Nobody knows. We must talk about this. The media must help to remind the people about these cases. Please, look at that man. And we are here entertaining a tall guy from Mumias with no English skills, who eventually landed accidentally in the cabinet of Uhuru, who speaks very good English. Surely, because he was brought by who? Ruto. Meona hiyo? Ruto. Nyenye msigope kuzungumza. Chief anakuja siku moja.
Yes, and I think, Dr. Ramasanga, that is one case that I think the judiciary should also revisit, because to my opinion, I think it holds the same wavelength as that of Waluke. And I think they should revisit it. And the court order, I don't know why the court thought it wise to order the release of his cars and the firearms, because this is a case that is ongoing. Yeah, and witnesses are out there. So how safe will they be?
How safe are you if you release 2 pistols? Does this man need 2 pistols to kill people? You release 2 pistols to a man who is already annoyed.
Yes, and of course, there's also evidence that one of the witnesses was already killed. Kenei was killed a few days after the case was brought to court. So how safe are the rest of the witnesses? Will they be willing really to stand before the court of law and testify against this man?
Yes, the government help people. And the role of the media for us is to remind them. Now today, Miriam, we have done a very good job. We have reminded some people. Why should you give a case of 2 pistols back? Is Kenei having the pistol in the grave? Why? Why Why should the government surrender 2 pistols back to a suspect when the case is not over? Exhibits that have been in court during your trial until the case is over is when these exhibits are returned. That's Commonwealth law. Commonwealth law. You can hate me. Do I eat at your place? I eat my own food. I'm going to be a real lawyer. The lawyer tells you that you hate me. Do I endure war? I don't eat food at your place. So hate me. You can insult me on Twitter that I'm a sycophant of Uhuru. Thank you. Why don't you also become a sycophant? Yeah. If you insult me that I'm a sycophant, that man, hippo, what? He big man, refugee. Did you give me status? You saw the law of the refugee yesterday being passed in the parliament. Doesn't it protect me? If I were a refugee in Kenya, nyenye mzungumize mambo ba watu wanajua. Refugee, you have seen me apply for refugee, yeah? Because I speak, you call me a sycophant of President Uhuru, sycophant. Why don't you also join me? Then we become sycophant TT, sycophant TT, sycophant TT. We can sing a song. Oh, sycophant, oh, sycophant, oh, I am not Itumbi. At least I went to school. Itumbi never went, he passed through the school.
They say the school passed through him.
So, you call me you know me and myself a lot, Mama. I am a sycophant. You see the way they hammer me here. Sycophant.
No, Dr. Matsanga, let those ones who accuse you just tell you anything that you never talked about, that you ever talked about that has never come to pass. Yes.
Nilienda Miriam bado kama bado toka. Niliambia wa Kenya tutoe kesi ya wake envelope. Mulikataa. Walai ya Mungu mulikataa. Walai ya Mungu mulikataa. I lost 7 million Kenya shillings of my money, my children's money. One judge in the Supreme Court ate my money. He's there. I'm waiting for him to make an application to be a chief justice. Then he will bring it down. Na tapes na video. Ulikula pesa zangu. Now you are there saying you are a chief justice. You want also to apply. Jaribu. You know what they did for me? They called me a Ugandan. We were 2 people who were on my petition. I flew with my money to serve a summons to the chief prosecutor Fatou Bensouda to come so that he gives me the 20 names, the envelope. People laughed at me. Aha! Look at that laughter. Aha! It has come back. Miriam, can I tell you? I'm even making it because Corona is there. Let me use this to do this. Very nice, boss. It has come back. This time, don't look for Matsanga.
So what is the latest in regards to that situation?
Not yet. I will not reveal here. I told you I'll tell you tomorrow. Off camera.
And Miriam also, just a while back.
The song brought in, whatever Matsanga talks comes to pass, which is true. Now, you refused me. On 15th of June, Fatou Bensouda ends his tenure of office. The tenure of office is gone. She's a common woman with a skirt in the Hague, whom I can seduce through the court. I'm not saying to seduce through the court. Sorry. Miriam, I'm not saying to seduce, to take her, because I have my wife. But I'm going to start seducing through application in the court of Britain to bring her to justice. Why she has not cleared my name? Yet I was right. That's point number one. As she leaves on 16th in the very early in the morning, my lawyers in London are prepared, and The Hague, they will serve the summons on the door in Hampstead at her house to show cause. Private prostitution. Umeona, nilikwambia huyu Muganda siwezi, you will not undermine me. You will not. And I follow corruption, whether here or there. I follow corruption internationally. These Kenyan cases had the highest corruption that the world has never seen before. I want Justice Waki to be arrested at one point internationally, to be stopped from traveling anywhere, even for medical treatment. You don't know me. I've not kept quiet. I'm not yet finished. Some people here play with me. I am not yet finished. I've been keeping quiet. But you have domesticated international law in Kenya, which you can bring corruption charges. How did Justice Waki select the names? Who gave him the money to select the names? How much was he paid to select the names? Why should he serve in the Kenyan court? Where is the envelope? Why is he not able to tell? He wrote the names. Why didn't he tell the Kenyans how he wrote these names? How did he come? If you are looking for Waluke, who stole money in 2009, why can't we look for Justice Waki, who wrote names in 2010, handed them to Kofi Annan? Is that not corruption? Is that not corruption? Can't the Kenyan case here as to why? I've made an appeal. I've made an appeal. Don't play with Matanga. I made an appeal. I put on notice an appeal. Now that the rumblings in the ICC have arrived and the people are rumbling, this is the time. This is the time to work for. Hey, can I sing the song? This is the time to work for Kenya. This is the time to work for Kenya. Oh Kenya, Kenya, ah Kenya. Oh Kenya, Kenya, we are moving forward. Oh Kenya, Kenya. Ah, Kenya, oh Kenya, Kenya, we are moving forward. This is the time to work for Kenya. This is the time to save Kenya. Oh Kenya, Kenya, oh Kenya, oh Kenya, Kenya, oh Kenya, oh Kenya, Kenya, we are moving forward. President Uhuru Kenyatta, move forward. That is my song. I learned it in 1979 in Tanzania. Oh, Uganda, Uganda, ah, Uganda, 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 we are moving forward. Oh, Kenya, Kenya. You know, you bring in, somebody brings in this, another one this, Miriam brings tenor, then there's Tony, then there is, what are they called? You tune it. And then we make a very good band, which we can open on Punchline Africa TV every time when we are talking about corruption. This is it the time to work for Kenya. This is it the time to wipe corruption. This is it the time to work for Kenya. This is it the time to wipe up corruption. Oh, 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 Kenya, we are moving forward. Unaona hiyo?
Doctor, and somebody who is also moving forward. That's a beautiful song there.
Yes, Miriam, maybe just before we close that topic.
No, we're still in that topic, so I don't want to lose my train of thought. Daniel, and please, sorry, but let me just ask this. Somebody else who seems to be moving forward is Chief Justice David Maraga, who yesterday gave a tongue lashing to judiciary employees over poor connectivity when he toured Milimani Court to see progress of e-filing. For the e-filing and digital courts to be success, judiciary needs to invest in high-capacity bandwidth. Now, under the new electronic system, all lawyers, police, DPP, and members of the public are required to register themselves through a portal to log into the judiciary system. Now, after logging in, one is expected to upload documents and also access court fees. Subsequently, one has to submit the files to the registrar online for the matter to be filed and placed before a judge for hearing. Now, Maraga asked the ICT staff to come with a tab which will allow judges to download an entire court file and carry it home to write judgments if need be. And so we are seeing the progress because I know we have personally, Doctor, you've had a problem in how David Maraga has been operating and has been running the court system here as the Chief Justice of the Republic of Kenya. But perhaps he had a lot of these complaints, and now he's saying, I'm willing to do better. And in line with what you're saying, a new Kenyan moving forward, he's saying we need to move the judiciary forward. Is it a little bit too late for this? And he was there yesterday to inspect after he launched this program on Wednesday. So he was hoping they'll hit the ground running, but apparently the judicial staff there were not up to task. So he went there and he was really angry, and he really, gave them, a run for their money there. A bit, yeah.
The guy is doing a normal thing like I am doing.
What are you wearing? We need you to breathe. Can you see your face?
I'm breathing very normally.
Your face.
These are some of the precautions.
So Maraga wants to take us forward in line with your song, Doctor.
Extraordinary circumstances of fighting corruption.
So you had Maraga and you went to wear that?
Yes.
I cannot.
Miriam, humbly, let me now submit. When I heard you talking about Maraga, I had to put on the screen so that it doesn't pass through my nose.
But he wants to move the judiciary forward, Doctor. Are you in support of those changes there?
Maraga is not a thief. He's not corrupt. But Maraga is incompetent.
Yes.
Take it from me. He's incompetent. He doesn't know. Now, didn't he know that some people there are not yet trained? Why are you lashing your tongue? He never trained those people. Walikaa kwa Supreme Court huko chini, and then they just, with that beautiful lady, Mrs.
Amadi. Maybe he's just assuming the IC department, because every parastatal.
Don't misunderstand me. I like her. She's very good.
Good as if she's not incompetent.
She's not incompetent.
Okay.
But unfortunately, she was placed in a very dangerous place to work with an incompetent person. Mrs. Amadi is a very bright person. A bright mom. working under very incompetent Chief Justice. Me, I don't accuse a CJ for anything. Everybody who does not, whoever has no, you throw the cast the first stone. Whoever cast the first stone, wachana hiyo. These other things, they are there in the community. Did you see me comment on it? Because there are so many people out there with a gun focused on us. Some of them can see you very handsome and they think you are very handsome. They can imagine that they have a baby with you.
Doctor.
Didn't you remember Alive saying that I produced a child through Facebook? Wesonga, you saw what he wrote?
Yes.
That I had some interaction on Facebook. Yet I didn't even have, you know, at that time I did not have WhatsApp. What saved me, Miriam? My wife said, but you don't have WhatsApp. What did you write on? Said, no, as a lawyer, this WhatsApp was made up. Otherwise, I was supposed to have got a child from Facebook. That big head pumpkin. Big pumpkin like this.
Doctor, I love pumpkin, so leave pumpkin alone.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. CJ Maraga seems to want to change this narrative of incompetence.
If you want to have pumpkin, you can't eat alive pumpkin.
I don't want his pumpkin, but I go buy pumpkin from the farmer's market, Doctor. I'm trying to bring us back to this conversation. And Doctor, you have been very consistent about the incompetence of the person of CJ. But now he seems to be changing this narrative and he's saying, now I'm willing to work. Perhaps he's heard the complaints that especially we've been making here on this platform.
Thank you very much, Madam. Thank you. On a concluding note, you have made my heart better.
Lord.
And I want to take this opportunity to tell the Chief Justice that I don't have any enmity whatsoever against you. You are my friend. You are my namesake. The only enmity I have is incompetence. So I was trying to show you some of these things that were missing. You can't create a bench to investigate Justice Mwilu, who could have pricked the ears of the husband in Merika Hotel in Nakuru, who could have refused to give goods, and the husband wants the goods. Then they fight. Then you create a JSC to investigate Mwilu. No, it's a police case. That is domestic violence. There is a law in Kenya that says you don't force your husband to have intimacy, and that vice versa. You must ask politely, pole. Now, Miriam, this one I'm talking about as a citizen of a grown-up. If these people fight, if the chief justice fights with the husband because of that, you create JSC with Songa. You create JSC to discuss why Justice Mwilu did not on that day accept the request. No. You allow the police to inquire why. What happened? Why did you bite the ear of your wife? Then you tell the police that nililipa ng'ombe zangu daware, and the daware goes with kulipa there is a saying in Kiswahili, pay as you go.
That is not how you define dowry.
I'm summarizing it that way.
Yes.
Pay as you go.
Potelea mbali.
Come on.
If I paid my dowry, there are certain things that must happen. So that one you don't tell the JSC, you tell the police. So Mwiru went out, stole money, laundered money, caught outside, should not have gone to the JSC. Should have gone straight to the police. It's a criminal record. Take a plea. Take a plea. All what they did not want is for Mwiru to take a plea. I've suffered. I've suffered. You see, Alai today wrote that why Mudavadi, have you seen that one? It's very interesting. Why Mudavadi cannot become a president. He said there was an Indian who produced a child in the family. What? So is Alai a doctor for these things? Look at that cheapness. Let's fight corruption nicely. Let's not fight badly. Our role is to fight corruption. Mimi aliniingiza kwa shida kubwa sana. Miriam akia Mungu. It was a very big problem. Thank you. And yet there was nothing. Nothing. Up to today I've looked for that child I don't see.
I'll start looking for Alai's tweets. I'm not a social media person per se, but
But
Miriam,
Robert Alai writes anything about anyone, and I think
many Christians, there are some things that are so embarrassing.
I just love my peace of mind, so I just keep off.
You better. No, I was put in a corner I've never had. Wesonga knows. And by then, Wesonga, we might have been on different sides. I hammered me. When he hammered the whole, hey, the media was hot. They said, yeah, we've got him now. But here we are together on the same side, my son. Thank you very much. God bless you. God bless all of you. Okay, Kenya. Oh, Kenya.
John Clark
Kenya, tunasonga mbele.
John Clark
Okay.
Yes.
Kenya. Okay, Kenya, tunasonga mbele. Let's fight corruption. Thank you very much.
And of course, something else that...
Wario, give him custodial. And he pays double. The money that Javelin man used. Thank you very much. God bless you.
Yes, and of course, Doctor, just before we finish, I know we are coming almost near end of the show. The amendments being made in the anti-corruption laws here in Kenya, I think will go a long way in helping fight and war against corruption. Will aid in that regard.
Support them. Let the MP support. Change the criminal justice system. I've summarized it for you. You can't go. Change it. You can't imprison somebody on Friday, arrest him. DCI. He's released on Monday. Change the bail conditions. If you are on a crime, a criminal economic crime, spend some 3 months while investigations are being done. That the parliament can change on that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't infringe on the human rights. At the end of the 3 months, if there is no charge, you will be thrown out. You will go home. Thank you.
And in one of those amendments, Daniel, the EACC will get a leeway to secure court orders suspending state officers for 90 days if unapproved, and in that regard, state officers will not even allowed to access their offices or places where it will be deemed they could tamper with the evidence. So this, I think, will aid in that regard.
Yes, I think that will be a milestone, Miriam, owing to the fact that previously when a state officer has been implicated in a corruption scandal, they have been using their powers in public office to interfere with evidence and also witness statements. So if the Anti-Corruption Commission will have the powers to suspend them from office in 90 days prior to the hearing of the case, then that's a big win for the anti-corruption agencies, and it will strengthen the war against corruption in that these people will not have any time in the office to do away with the evidence, or neither will they have that conducive environment to interfere with the witnesses, rather.
And also, Doctor, after, of course, a rigorous campaign by the anti-graft agencies led by Director of Public Prosecutions Nordin Haji, the government has petitioned Parliament to expunge Section 62, subsection 6 of the Anti-Corruption Economic Crimes Act of 2003. The section protects elected leaders and independent office holders, such as commissioners, from easily being forced out of office through graft prosecution. Now, if proposed changes are approved, governors charged with corruption will be suspended at half pay with effect from the date of the charge until the conclusion of the case. And this would also apply to the Deputy President. Doctor.
Yes, I think Dr. Matsanga has left us, but I can chip in on that, Miriam.
Right.
And I think it is in the same design of the previous topic that we've discussed. These all tells you that the war against corruption has been made in that everyone is equal before the law. There's no one who is above the law in the war against corruption. And implementing such laws will ensure that people who previously felt that they are more powerful, they held a powerful office, government, or maybe at county level, will not escape this wide net that has been cast in regards to fighting corruption. So whoever you are, it doesn't matter. So long as you are implicated of corruption, then you'll have to face their consequences. And I think that one will really assist in combating corruption, and in the fact that they have included also the county chiefs, the governors, then that goes all the way back to the grassroots, where we've reported rampant cases of corruption. So I think that is a very good law. And going forward, it will ensure that we crush corruption in the national government, that is the executive, all the way to the county level. And these are amendments that should be supported by Kenyans by all means.
And also, President Uhuru Kenyatta has been, quoted as saying, he stated that winning the war against corruption and uniting the country are among the major issues he wants as his legacy. Winning the war on corruption and also uniting Kenyans. Is this a tall order to the President, Uhuru Kenyatta, or is he up to task and he can do it? And perhaps this will be the lasting legacy that he's seeking to leave behind.
I think up to this juncture, the results are showing for themselves, Miriam. President Uhuru Kenyatta is a very, very fast president where sitting ministers have been arraigned in court. And of course, more than 2 of them have been shown the door in regards to fight against corruption. And also you've seen previous landmark rulings, and the latest one being where Waluke and Ms. Grace Wahunku were charged for the 297 million Kenyan shillings they defrauded the NCPB back in 2009. So I think the president means whatever he says about war on corruption, and it's just a matter of time before now we go now for the big fish in government. And whoever is taking this lightly, I think they need to change the perception. President Uhuru Kenyatta stated very clearly at the beginning of his second term that he was going for any corrupt individual in his government, and he was even ready to lose friends along the way in the course of fighting corruption. And I think that one has been clearly been reflected by the recent rulings on corruption cases. We've had people's accounts frozen. We have assets covered in terms of those individuals who have been found guilty of corruption in government. So I think he's on course, and we wish to see more heads rolling and more people being brought before the court in terms of corruption. And I think ultimately he's going to leave a legacy of fighting corruption as it is, and we wish him all the best, and just maybe call on Kenyans of goodwill to support the president's agenda on fighting corruption.
And the bill further proposes that High Court may invalidate the assumption to office of a state officer who doesn't sign the Leadership and Integrity Code. And we see that in this new also amendment bill proposes that the EACC would now be required to thoroughly scrutinize contents of self-declaration forms of politicians running for office or any other person running for office. So in line with the Leadership and Integrity Code, and now the High Court, if this bill passes, may invalidate the assumption of office of state officer who does not sign the Leadership and Integrity Code. Will this go in terms of providing a sort of a safeguard when it comes to leadership and integrity?
Yes, Miriam, and of course, if you are a public servant, or maybe you are seeking to become a public servant, then you have to accept that you are in the public domain, courtesy of the people who elected you, or maybe who put you there, and therefore you are subject to public scrutiny, and you should sign at any particular circumstances that are just for the purpose of transparency and integrity, that you are able to be accountable to these people who elected you, or these people who put you there. So I think it is a very good law that, if effectively put into place, will ensure that holders of public office are accountable for their own responsibilities. And in case public money is lost, or maybe it is found that maybe you had a previous case in regards to corruption, then you have to step aside and let the people who are equal to the task to take up that responsibility. So it's a matter of accountability and integrity. So I think it's a good law in all measures.
All right, thank you so much, Rebecca Machuki there. Dennis Akachoi, you're very entertained there by the singing, and also all that the doctor has been doing this afternoon, but also, the information there that is given us in line with fighting corruption here in Kenya, which I think is a very important war. And should we get it right as a country, then we shall be very proud indeed to be Kenyans. Daniel Wesonga, thank you so much for your time this afternoon.
Thank you, Miriam. Have a good afternoon too.
All right, and I think we lost a doctor there. He had some things that urgently required his attention. My name is Miriam Ugutu. This has been the People's Court, and I'm hoping to see you here later with Diaspora Dispatches, where we shall be looking at the news-making headlines across the continent of Africa. A very good afternoon to you, and thank you for watching.
Peace must be our goal and our guide. And all that we strive for as a human family, dignity and hope, progress and prosperity, depends on peace. But peace depends on us.